tweeted Hook is a piece of shit, and then somebody tweeted this. Some woman, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jack. Oh wait, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jacked. 6'3" bro he met until they pulled their first back to beat him up. Whereupon my ex would go, hey, come on, I'm a little guy. I'm just a little guy. No, it's just also I'm a birthday boy. It somehow always worked. And then Stokely just quote tweets it, F you. Tony Brown, but who the f***'s in the background? It's Hook. It's fucking Hook. And then he's getting twerked on by some fucking broad. My t-shirt money is now in the ass crack of some fucking stripper. So thanks, Hook. But I don't. But Jesus Christ, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Clip it.
Oh,
but actually, hey, it worked out in the long run.
I actually do hope they make another season actually, because I would love to see the American Dragon on Total Bellas start memeing on John Laurinaitis. You have live footage of John Laurinaitis in his living room calling somebody in his underwear saying, "Hey, bud, you fired."
What did Max Caster say about me?
Like I'm embarrassed the fact that I'm hosting a post show for this crap.
I'm proud of you, Carl. I love this.
We did our Valentine's Day post of Hooked on You, but it was mainly for Jamie Hayter and only Jamie Hayter.
It's not right. It's not right. It's fucking trying to build an account and we get this bullshit on the account. Great. But
also follow a simp account.
Okay. Okay, but here's the thing, because those people, this is networking.
We actually follow.
You got
it was a business decision.
It's a business. You have to follow these people. This is like following. If you want a stan account, you got to follow the other stans. And when you get big, you get rid of them. You get rid of them after that. It's over with.
I open up our Instagram and the first thing I see is Pro Wrestling Simp, and I'm like, what is this?
I don't look at that. I don't look at that stuff. It's a business decision because that guy promotes us, and then when we don't need him anymore, we toss him aside. That's what happens.
Yeah, well, we got go so fucking slap it on a t-shirt and continue to use the move forehead.
Unprettier.
This guy just say fucking forehead.
What?
This guy say forehead.
Yes, I did.
You think I fucking wouldn't catch that? You think nobody on this program would catch that? But I did. For weird.
You almost didn't.
For weird.
Let's be honest. You almost didn't.
Weird champ. This is what we resort to here.
All right. Next up.
Unbelievable. 5 head.
Next up, we have.
Why people happy? Pagu. Weird champ. Weird. Forehead.
Oh god.
Franker faces.
Oh.
Wowie. Why people sad. What else?
Look at how red my face is.
What else we got? Let me go on Twitch right quick. Okay. Why do people happy? KW, LOLW, XQCL.
All right. The Acclaim promo now. We were backstage.
Okay.
They're just like, yo, it's not gonna be a triple. It's not gonna be a normal.
Yo, dude, we're gonna do a fatal 4-way poggers, bro. Thanks for the fucking bits.
Fuck, damn it! Jump off a roof.
Well, they just lost Gunther, so I don't know how that is gonna survive. But what's it called? But the Third Reich faction. That's the Imperium's gonna turn to the Third Reich now. But he posted a picture on Twitter with Sean Dean. He's got his castle. It says Justice on it. and then somebody says Hook is some fucking girl says on Twitter, Hook is what? Stokely, I hate your bald ass so much. And then Big Stoke on Twitter goes, wow, Hook will pay for his crimes. It was confirmed that there was a forearm fracture which required a cast. I am distraught. I rolled dice with my left hand, so I'm Please don't make me sue this company, Tony Khan. Please, you know that a portrait of your father that's hanging in your office? Well, once I own this company, I'm replacing it with a big ass photo of James Brown. Yep. Every time you see the Godfather of Soul sweating in a drug-fueled rage at the Apollo, you're gonna think of me. Sounds pretty miserable, bro. Do the right thing. Punish this little bastard Hook and write me a fat check. By the way, here's a photo of me with my best friend Al Sharpton. It means absolutely nothing, by the way. Blushing face. But somebody tweeted, he tweeted, Hook is a piece of shit, and then somebody tweeted this. Some woman, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jack. Oh wait, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jacked. 6'3" bro he met until they pulled their first back to beat him up. Whereupon my ex would go, hey, come on. I'm a little guy. I'm just a little guy. No, it's just also my birthday. I'm a birthday boy. It somehow always worked. And then Stokely just quote tweets it. Fuck you. Tony Brown, but who the fuck's in the background? It's Hook. It's fucking Hook. And then he's getting twerked on by some fucking broad. My t-shirt money is now in the ass crack of some fucking stripper. So thanks, Hook. But I don't. But Jesus Christ, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Clip it.
It's Wednesday, guys. You know what that means. It is time for your weekly dose of the Pro Wrestling Injection right here on the Pro Wrestling Injection YouTube and Twitch. As always, I'm here, joined by the Goon Christian. Mike is out because the Mets are in the playoffs, so he'll be out for quite a bit until the Mets either win or lose. Who knows? So we got some news. Not much news, just some recaps and some outcomes. So Christian, kick us off.
Yeah. So this weekend last weekend was New Japan's King of Pro Wrestling show, which was a major show for the future of the company. And just some of the big moments that happened. The Young Bucks, there was a vignette where the Bucks announced it played, and they announced that they're going to be coming back to New Japan at Wrestle Dynasty on the 5th, which is basically just like Forbidden Door in Japan, but that's the first confirmed AEW talent to be on that show. So the Young Bucks will be making their New Japan return on January 5th. So that was pretty cool to see. It was a nice little surprise. There was this one was kind of, it's sad, but it's like it's understandable. Hiroshi Tanahashi, after his match, he had a 6-man tag match. He announced that he's had an unbelievable career, but he could see the end in sight, and he announced that he will be retiring on January 4th, January 4th, which is Wrestle Kingdom every year, in 2026. So he's basically gonna have a little over a year left of his wrestling career, and then he's gonna retire and call it a career. So I think that's the best way to do it. That's how a lot of Japanese wrestlers announce their retirement. Like they have like a whole going away like year. Liger did it. Manabu Nakanishi did it.
Cena did it.
What?
Cena did it.
Well, not yet. Well, I'm talking about just Japanese wrestling. Yeah. So like, Liger, Manabu Nakanishi, Keiji Muto had one. Obviously, if you're looking at the States, then kind of Bryan Danielson, Sting, Cena still is yet to come. But yeah, it's sad, but it's time. I mean, his body is really breaking down. His knees are completely gone, and he's got a lot more on his plate now that he's the president of the company. So it makes sense, and this really wasn't that big of a surprise, because you knew he probably had a lot less in front of him than he had behind him. So
But anyway, we also had the main event, which was for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, which ended up being Zack Sabre Jr. versus Tetsuya Naito. This is Zack's title match that he earned after winning the G1. Normally, it's supposed to be in the main event of the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Kingdom, but Zack wanted it at this show, and that's what he got. And in a great match, about 25 minutes, great match he had with Tetsuya Naito. Zack Sabre Jr. for the first time ever is now the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. He beat Naito. He's now the world champion for the first time. Uh, another G1 winner winning the title. I couldn't be happier for the guy. I mean, he is completely earned. He busted his ass for this title, and in New Japan for years, and they feel comfortable enough to put it on him. I said at the start of the year that with the losses of Ospreay and Jay White and Tamatanga and Okada, obviously, that they're gonna need somebody, especially a foreigner, to step up and be the new guy, and that's what Zack did, and now he has been rewarded with the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, and it makes sense why they put it on him now because this Saturday or Sunday is Royal Quest, which is New Japan's annual show in the UK. So it obviously makes sense with the time.
Who does he face at Wrestle Kingdom now?
Well, that's still yet to be determined. We don't know yet. After the match, after when Zack was doing his celebration, Sonata came out and challenged him for the title, which that has been confirmed for Royal Quest this weekend. That it's the main event of that show is going to be Sonata versus Zack Sabre Jr. But also Shota Umino and Shingo Takagi came out after challenging Zack for the belt. And he gave both of them title shots. But he's like, let me wrestle Sonata first, and then we'll get to you guys, and we'll figure that out. However, Shingo, who beat Shingo in the G1 final, so it depends. I think he'll probably. I don't know when that's gonna happen. That could be it, but I don't know. I don't know who it's gonna be yet. But there also is a very, very not strange, but it's kind of a history repeating itself type of situation going on. When Shota Umino walked out to challenge Zack, he was heavily booed by the Japanese audience. The best way I could describe what Shota Umino is going through right now is what Naito went through back in the day when they were trying to force feed Naito and the fans weren't having it, and that's when he went left and went to Mexico and came back and became one of the biggest stars. Or if people are following WWE or AEW, the biggest comparison I could do right now is when basically 2016 Roman Reigns or like end of Cody Rhodes' run in AEW, where the fans were just completely turned on him. That is what's going on with Shota Umino right now, and it's not like it's because of his in-ring work or anything like that. It's just that is because he's being pegged as the future ace of the company. He's like the next Tanahashi. Fans aren't having it when he's in there with guys. When he's coming up with guys like Yota Tsuji and Ryohei Oiwa and Kosei Fujita, Ren Narita, Yuya Uemura, Gabe Kidd, guys like that, and he's not as interesting as some of those other guys. So that is a very, very curious thing to look at because they're in a situation where they're either gonna keep shoving this guy down your throat, which the fans are not gonna like. I have no problem with Shooter, or they're gonna turn him heel before Wrestle Kingdom, and then they'll do Zack and Shota. And it would actually make a lot of sense to turn him heel before that show because obviously the next night is Wrestle Dynasty, and who is the biggest heels on AEW right now? The Blackpool Combat Club with Mox. And who's aligned with Moxley, whose whole reason for being is because of Moxley, Shota Umino, and he'd fit right in if he turns heel. So it might be Shota Umino. That might be the best bet, but we'll see. But that's what happened at with New Japan, a big shakeup. I'm so happy for Zack Sabre Jr. And yeah, good stuff there.
Yeah.
Also, I guess just this little props, I guess. Um, the PWI 500 obviously came out a couple weeks ago, for just regular wrestling, and that's like a thing that's always talked about, um, stupidly because it's literally not like it's a ranking based off of criteria of a magazine. So people get up in arms about this shit, which they shouldn't. It's just a magazine's opinion. But for the wrestlers, I guess it's a cool. I mean, it's a cool thing for the wrestlers to see
Yeah.
their name on there. But the women's 250 came out a couple days ago, and the top 10 were announced. And just reading off the top 10, number 10 was Athena, number 9 was Mariah May, number 8 was Willow Nightingale, number 7 was Bailey, number 6 was Sarray from Stardom, and not Stardom, excuse me, Marigold. Number 5 was Stephanie Vaquer, who just made her NXT debut last night. Number 4 was Micah from Stardom. Number 3 was Rhea Ripley. Number 2 was Jordan Grace out of TNA, and number 1 was Timeless Tony Storm, which I think that is well deserved. I think she's the best female wrestler of the year. So I'm very happy that that she got that little rub. So very, very, just good for her. I'm glad she got that little accolade because she earned it. Her work has been unbelievable. But anyway. That brings us to Dynamite tonight, and I thought it was a pretty good show.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, this was a good post pay-per-view show. Wasn't too crowded. It was great. We kicked off with which is kind of like a post attack promo from Moxley after Wrestle Dream. Pretty much just like, hey, not your company. We run this shit. We told you what we were gonna do, and we did it.
Yeah. So, this was, this was an excellent little vignette here. I really enjoyed this one. This was similar to the one that they did a couple weeks ago before after All Out. But yeah, this was good stuff. Mox basically gave his mission statement. He said he hates what AEW has become. He hates how there's a lot of guys that are in the same spot that they were 5 years ago when this company started. He asked what is the new paradigm. They've spliced in clips of what happened, so it's like Pac and the All That. Like Pac has this duffel bag with the title in it. We still haven't seen the AEW title. Ever since it's won that duffel bag, we don't know where it is.
Well, now it's in a briefcase, but we'll get to that.
We don't know if that's who said that's the title. That's the thing.
It makes the most sense in my head.
Sure, but that's probably what they want you to think.
God damn it, you're right. You're probably right.
But yeah. So Mox, Wheeler, and Claudia, Marina, and Pac, they're cutting this promo on the back of a truck. And they're splicing in footage of all the baby faces, like Brian getting wheeled out, and all the baby faces are dejected. Like it literally looks like what happened at the end of Avengers Infinity War. Infinity War. Like all the baby faces are dejected. They're all like sad about what happened. Like there's a great shot. And it's a bunch of baby faces just watching the ambulance take off. It's like Mark Briscoe, Hook, Orange Cassidy, Private Party, Adam Cole, and Daniel Garcia. And Mox is cutting his promo. I thought this was excellent. You have the last shot wasn't even Mox; it was of Yuta. And Yuta, his role in this is like obviously we kind of described it after the show, after the pay-per-view. It's like he's unwilling. He didn't want to do this for Brian, but he has to. He's like a hostage in this, or like his hand is forced. His whole role in this feels like if you've ever watched a mobster movie or like a gang movie or like a gang show, he's like the one wholesome character. He's like the wholesome character in the group, but it's like you feel bad for the kid because you know he fell into the wrong crowd. but that's how he grew up in his environment. He didn't really have a chance or a choice.
Yeah.
But it really feels like that character where he's like the good character, the wholesome character that fell in with the wrong crowd. And that's exactly what's going on here. So I thought this was a great opening vignette.
Mhm.
I'm really digging this Moxley stuff. So
Someone actually on Twitter, someone described this as the Infinity War. Going into AEW, this is like the Infinity War.
yeah, I mean it makes the most sense. I mean, you got a bunch of baby faces dejected, and you have how the fuck are you gonna you have an unstoppable heel at the top.
What I would like to see happen with this story is the savior of AEW to come back and take that title off Mox. But we don't know how long it will be till the savior of AEW comes back, and that is Kenny Omega. We don't know.
Well,
that's what I would like to see happen: is the savior of AEW to come back, take it off Mox.
I think I wouldn't do that again.
I get it, but like, you need to have a savior. You need to have this.
Yeah, his name's Darby Allin.
Yeah.
He's responsible for all this going down. Number one. Number two, he's a young guy that you could put the world title on. That's popular enough for them to put the world title on. And number three, Darby Allin needs it a lot more than Kenny does.
True.
And I'm not saying Darby even needs it, but like Kenny doesn't need it. Kenny's Kenny. Kenny's gonna come back and he's gonna be untouchable. And plus, I'm not saying this because but you gotta watch because Kenny's health is still unknown. Like you can't do that. Like I understand. Like if this was a couple of years ago, then yeah. But like the time for Darby
is now. Yeah.
Put the belt. It's. There's no other person I can see taking that belt off Moxley. Darby Allin is so integral to this story. He is the babyface of AEW. He's never been a heel. Darby Allin in all of AEW. Number one, Darby Allin is the one to give Moxley a shot at his shot for Wrestle Dream. If he never put that up, Brian would still probably be around, or Moxley would have never did this to Brian. Also, he lost that match at Grand Slam. That's on him. He lost.
True.
Who else lost the match when he lost? And then the events that Wrestle Dream happened. This is Darby Allin. If Darby didn't do this stuff, this would have never happened. So he's gonna have to live with that guilt. That's his thing. He feels responsible for this, and he's the one who has to dig himself out of this hole. And when Darby Allin wins the title, it's a first-time winner. Number one. Number two, it's a guy that the fans have been behind, who's homegrown AEW for years, and it's a guy who you could trust in a main event scenario. You could trust with marketing and going to places and bringing the title to places. And how many times has Darby Allin? I mean, they just did one tonight with Tony Hawk. You have all these little kids coming in with the half face paint. It has to be Darby. Don't get me wrong. Kenny Omega is my favorite wrestler of all time. I would love that, but that's not the play. You can't do that for a thing that's already happened before. They've had Kenny beat Mox for the belt already. They can't do that again when Darby Allin was going to be this hot, this white hot, going up against Darby Allin's the ultimate underdog against Moxley. Like Kenny and Mox are an even match. Darby and Mox, fucking Mox wiped the floor with him at Grand Slam, but look at the two standing next to each other. Darby Allin is not fucking half the size of Jon Moxley. It's the ultimate underdog story, and he's got to fucking dig himself out of a hole that he created. So, I mean, I think that's the only way you can go here. God forbid the guy gets hurt.
Yeah.
How he's not fucking incapacitated after these last 5 years is still a fucking mystery. But it's got to be Darby. It has to be. There's no other person.
True.
The only person that would probably even make sense would be Hangman, but Hangman is not a babyface anymore.
He's
Hangman.
Hangman's in limbo. We don't know what he is.
No, we do know what he is. He's one of the biggest heels in the company. If this was the Hangman from 3 years ago when he beat Kenny for the title, then yeah, it would probably be between Darby and Hangman. But guess what? Hangman is a fucking top 3 heel in the company right now. And ain't changing for a little bit. It's Darby Allin's title. That's all there is. I can't justify them putting it on anybody else. Kenny coming back. Kenny coming back is feuding. I mean, we're going to talk about it, but when Kenny comes back, he's feuding with Jack Perry. That eventually gets him back to Okada. It's just going to happen. That's what's supposed to happen at Wembley. They're not putting Kenny in a spot right out the gate where he's challenging for the world title with unknown health concerns. So.
But okay.
I would love that as much as anybody because obviously I love Kenny to death, but it's Darby Allin.
All right.
So we start off the show after that with Adam Cole.
Baby.
Adam Cole, he came out, he cut a promo on MJF, talking about how much of a fucking piece of shit MJF is. He gave it a nice dig in there about how it took MJF 2 surgeries to get his hair back, but it's there.
It's fucking wild.
But he was talking just how shitty a person MJF is. And he said he's going to make his life a living hell, and he called him out to come out here and fight him. But MJF was not there. He was in a nice room drinking some wine and basically talking to Adam Cole, saying, I mean, he ain't shit. He can't do anything to him because nobody's going to care. Nobody is... I mean, basically just cutting down Adam Cole. He was cutting him down. He says, listen, if you want to wrestle me, guess what? It's never going to happen. When you think it's going to happen, it won't. But that's what's going to go on here. Adam Cole retorted. But yeah, they're just going at each other.
You think this is going to be just a go at each other, blow off at Full Gear?
Well, yeah, this is probably going to be they're probably going to end this at Full Gear because it's just they're wrapping it up because it never ended up getting finished because the whole storyline got fucked up due to the top 2 guys in the story and the top 2 guys in the company at the time getting hurt. So Shelton Benjamin just got his graphic, by the way.
Hell yeah. And RJ City still hasn't gotten yet for producing 2 of the greatest angles so far in AEW.
Well, he's not doing it. Well, he's not getting a graphic.
Dude has produced Mariah May and Tony Storm. He is now fully behind the Mariah May story. And he produced the BCC story.
That's great. He's also been employed for 2 years and still hasn't got a graphic. So
I think at this point he fucking deserves like 8 graphics.
I think it's a little too late.
No.
Tony Storm said to tweet out RJ City's all elite. Oh yeah, guy's been all elite for 2.5 years. They should, when he gets released, they should drop the graphic.
That's gonna be so fucked up.
But I'm not saying when he gets released. I'm saying like if he ever got released or if he ever leaves. That's the graphic. That'd be funny. RJ City was not elite anymore.
But just
that'd be a hell of a rib.
But just RJ City though. I think it was released earlier today. Who were the people behind some of the top stories? You had RJ City behind Blackpool Combat Club and Mariah May. Will Washington is behind the Swerve and Hurt Syndicate. Jen Pepperman is behind the Mercedes and Statlander story. And Will Ospreay and Don Callis' family is being produced by Sanjay Dutt. You have some of the greatest minds so far. This is going to be really interesting.
But anyway, after that we have Renee in the back with Mark Briscoe and Jericho, and they announced that next week they're going to be doing a ladder war for the Ring of Honor World Championship. So yeah, but that was a Jay Briscoe staple match in Ring of Honor. So that's pretty cool. I guess. I mean, I don't have any problem with it. And it's I don't see Mark losing the title either.
Oh yeah, no. So, it would have to be for some some chicanery has to go down.
Yeah, I still even then I still don't think he's gonna lose the title. And plus it protects them from pinning Jericho twice. So
True. Very true.
But anyway, after this we had a tag team match between Big Bill and the Bad Apple Brian Keith versus FTR, and this is pretty good.
Yeah, it's solid.
This is FTR's first match back since the hurricane. They were gone for a little bit because the hurricane, basically, the worst of it was in their hometown.
Hmm. I have a friend out there who is still having to like go down to like a local well just to get water to flush his toilet.
Wow.
So.
But yeah, they've been promoting all this donation funds and stuff. Even Copeland, they aired it on television and on the pay per view, because Copeland lives there as well. But yeah, it was nice to see them again. But yeah, they beat Big Bill and Brian Keith with the Shadow Machine. And after the match, the Outrunners came out and celebrated with them, which was awesome because of the FT Runners. And this is exactly what I said. It's exactly what I said on the pay-per-view post show and the pre-show. You got to get the Outrunners on Dynamite. I'm pretty sure it's the first time they were on Dynamite, not in like a job match type position, because they were on Dynamite before, back when they were not taken seriously. But now this is their first time for real on Dynamite, and that's exactly what I said. You got to start getting these guys on Dynamite. Go start getting these guys on the main show. Get more eyes on them.
I think right now with
that you should be grooming to beat the Young Bucks for the tag titles.
With the Outrunners, we're seeing the Acclaimed effect when they were Acclaimed was on Dynamite, but they were losing. But like once like Max's raps got over.
No, yeah, it's exactly.
Then it then started to snowball.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said a couple of weeks ago. I was saying like the same feeling I had about the Acclaimed is the same exact feeling I have about the Outrunners. So
yeah, they gotta they gotta strike while the iron's hot, and get on top of it.
Yeah. So, and I'm not asking them to put the titles on them now or anything.
Yeah, no.
Even this year, like maybe early next year.
Or even late next year, just wait for like some of these people to, like fully like some of these tag team stories to fully.
I wouldn't wait that long because number one, I don't think you're gonna have to keep the belts on the Bucks for.
Well, no, I'm not saying. I'm saying like you wanna you wanna tie any loose ends of any tag teams that are like say any loose ends for people who have their eyes on Private Party, because I'm assuming I'm 100% in the camp Private Party is getting those titles at Full Gear. I am 100% in that camp. I don't see anything different.
I don't see. I mean, they could. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I wouldn't mind if they did either. But with Garcia, I mean, because obviously we're going to talk about it, but Garcia is obviously going to be in the team, probably going to challenge. Probably, I wouldn't be shocked if he won the TNT title, and Private Party is going to be with him. And I wouldn't be surprised if they won the tag titles. I was going to mention that when we got to that segment. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. But
it's also like I think like
there's a bigger story at play there with
and
stuff, and
I think what they're gonna do with Mox's group, like mainly with Pac, Yuta, and Claudio, I think they're gonna make them like just run a gauntlet, do like Top Flight, do Dark Order, and maybe throw in Private Party and Garcia. I think have them run a gauntlet like that.
I don't think it's gonna be a gauntlet. I think just everyone's gonna want to fucking fight him. I think that's it.
Where it would be like a 9-on-3.
No. I'm saying like it doesn't matter where or when, or it doesn't even have to have structure to it. Guys are just gonna fucking fight these guys. There's gonna be matches announced of anybody and everybody wanting to fucking fight.
I do think Fright Night for Dynamite is going to be the Dark Order and BCC match. You have like a kind of like a street fight type deal, gimmick it.
I mean, maybe I wouldn't do any Halloween gimmicks.
Well, don't go too crazy with it, but like
no, I wouldn't do it at all. That's not Really, that is such the antithesis of what Moxley's doing. That did Moxley, Pac, Claudio, Marina, and Yuta are like these are like the most no nonsense, no goofy motherfuckers there is. I don't want to see trick or treat bags and pumpkins around when fucking Moxley having and Moxley throwing them at people. I don't want to see that. Moxley is not. That's not does not fit anything that Moxley or this new group is doing right now. This is serious shit going on
Fair.
right now.
Very fair. All right.
Because that's way too. Like I could suspend my disbelief, but it's like if I see fucking Moxley hitting people with like candy corn fucking kendo sticks, it's like, bro, that doesn't make sense.
Man, that shit was I kind of burned that from my memory with WWE. Thank you for unlocking that back.
But anyway, I mean, yeah, I can see them getting the titles. Private Party, that is. I think that makes sense if they want to do that. Because the Bucks, I don't think the Bucks are getting out of the year with the titles. So we'll see if Private Party does not challenge them for the tag titles at Full Gear, then I don't think they're gonna win them. But with the type of match they had at Wrestle Dream, and if they still are involved with what's going on with Mox and with the Elite, we'll see. But after the match, we had in the back the Acclaimed cutting promo, but they were quickly cut off by MVP and Shelton Benjamin. And MVP was basically just telling them, when are you guys going to start getting serious and start being who you actually are? And he gave Max Caster his card, MVP that is, and Max put it in his pocket. Billy Gunn already split, but Anthony, after Max, then Max got a little promo after, but Anthony was looking at Max, like looked at his pocket and looked at Max. So there's obviously, they're trying to sow some dissension between the Acclaimed here, but that's not the only time this would happen tonight. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here with this, because I don't think they're gonna break up the Acclaimed. I don't think that would be right to do. But because they're obviously still popular.
Yeah.
But it's a thing to look at because this isn't the only time they've done this tonight.
What was after that segment? I'm trying to remember. Because I'm blanking.
After this, we had Queen Aminata versus Mercedes Moné. Good little match. Just got built up on the pay-per-view a little bit. And
I'm surprised Statlander didn't come out at the end of this one.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was a good match between the two. Aminata is fucking great.
Yes.
She was really good. But Mercedes picked up the win with the moneymaker, money statement. And
I think if you can hear me out on this one, I say whenever I say hear me out, it's always gonna lead to some stupid fucking idea. I would like, if they're doing this Mercedes and Statlander thing, if somehow Statlander comes out of this winning the TBS title back, I would have her be a tweener, work with Queen Aminata, and get the title on Queen Aminata.
Yeah, Stallion winner, no title.
I'm just saying. I'm just putting that out there because one, I hated how this heel run for Statlander kind of fell flat and nothing happened with it.
I don't think it fell flat. I don't think it had enough time. She was quickly changed back to a babyface, and to be honest, I don't even blame them because this is a very heel-heavy women's division. Like, they don't have many big-time babyfaces on the women's division.
But like, I loved what they were doing with a heel Statlander. I wish they kept it.
I wish they kept it, but that's the problem, though. They don't have much babyfaces.
Like, baby faces in the terms of that, but the crowd still cheers for these heels. People will still love Mariah May.
Sure, but that doesn't matter. You have to have a clear-cut babyface and heels. But like, look, like, who do you have right now? You have Toni Storm, who's not around right now. She's the biggest babyface in the women's division. You have Willow Nightingale, who's right there with her, who just challenged for the world title, for the women's title.
You have Sheeta, who's
Sheeta, you have Sheeta, you have Anna now, you have Jamie Hayter, and that's it. That's it. You have Thunder Rosa too, but she's hurt.
well, hurt is a loose term. She just won a title in the UK.
Who?
Thunder Rosa.
She's concussed.
I kid you not. She won a title. I forgot who posted it. I just saw it. Like, why is it when I look up Thunder Rosa, just on Twitter, porn just appears? Great. Thank you, Elon Musk.
Oh yeah. She just came back yesterday.
Yeah, because I was like, I saw like she legit like.
Yeah. All right, so she'll be back then. If she just came back yesterday, her last match was in August. So, yeah, if she just came back yesterday, then yeah, she'll be back. So, all right, so this is who you have. You have Toni Storm, you have Willow, you have Thunder Rosa, you have Jamie Hayter,
Britt Baker, but I think the crowd's slowly turning on her.
Anna Jay, Britt right now. You have Mita Shirakawa coming in, and you have Sheeta. That's about it. And Julia Hart should be back. Ty Mello should be back soon. And Sky Blue, she's still a ways away. You have Aminata, but she's not at the top of the card. Obviously, Ruby's going to be gone for a little bit. Penelope just came back, but she's a heel. But here is, but when it comes to like heels, you have what's her name? Oh, Deonna Purrazzo just started this new Mafia gimmick on Collision. She's got Taya Valkyrie with her. You have Mercedes and Camille on the heel side. Athena still in Ring of Honor as a heel. Britt, the crowd's gonna turn on her most likely. Statlander just is done being here. Mariah is obviously the world champ. Mercedes obviously the TBS champ. You have Saraya and Harley, Serena. So it's a heel heavy group. So that's I understand why they want to do it, but I wish they found somebody else instead of Statlander to do it, because Statlander as a heel was good and it was working, but obviously they needed somebody. But if anybody, see, I don't think Statlander is taking the TBS title. I think if anybody's taking the TBS title off of Mercedes, it's Jamie. I think Jamie and Mercedes is the match, because that was the match everyone wanted to see before Jamie went down.
True. So I only bring it up because I'm
pretty sure that was supposed to be the Forbidden Door match last year, but then Mercedes and Jamie both went down. So
I only was throwing it out there because of the fact which a fast track to put the title on Queen Aminata. That's because I think at least maybe by the start of next year, maybe middle 2025, she gets the TBS title.
Maybe. I think it's still a ways out. But
even like for me, like early is pushing it.
Late next year, I can see that.
All right.
Late next year, maybe.
Like leaving Wrestle Dream or going out of
Yeah, no, around that time. Like Mercedes should be already in the women's title picture by that time. You'll probably have Jamie or whoever, Willow, fucking Deonna as the TBS champion around that time. So we'll see, but I think around that time is probably fair, because she'll be around, and she hasn't had enough face time for that yet, so she'll have that by then, hopefully. But anyway, after this we had a quick vignette with Private Party asking the Young Bucks for another tag team title match, but the Bucks said no, we beat you clean as a whistle, and no, we're good. But they gave them their props, so they fucked off, and then here comes MVP and Shelton again, and Was it MVP and Shelton? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, MVP and Shelton. Oh no, what the fuck am I talking about? Stokely Hathaway. Stokely. I'm thinking of the other segment. Stokely Hathaway. He showed up and basically talked to Private Party about how
This was after the Bucks said, "Hey, Private Party, you guys were good. We'll give you your credit. You're not getting a title match though."
Yeah. The Bucks they left, so then Stokely chimed in, talked about how they're basically in the same spot as they were, and that's why they lost. And then gave a quick he had a great line. Said, "You guys haven't been, you guys haven't been worth anything since the Obama. Yeah, I mean, you guys have been here since the Obama administration. And you've done nothing."
Whoa.
Which is not even true. I mean, this company wasn't even formed. This company was formed during the Trump administration. But Stokely.
Did you see the fucking tweet Stokely put out? And he was texting Yuta, and he said, "Remind Mox to keep that motherfucker on standby. Shut the fuck up. You're right." Fucking love Stokely, man.
But yeah, so Stokely, he is, and then he gave a remark saying, "Well, we all know Isaiah is the single star of the group," and then he walked away, and then they were pissed off about that, and Mark Hunt was obviously very pissed about that, but Isaiah basically said that's what it takes. That's what it takes. So it looks like they're probably gonna link up with Stokely soon. After this, we had the Elite in the back with Okada and Jack Perry, talking about before they go out, they wanted to say happy birthday to Kenny Omega. And
he had 20 feet of intestines removed.
Yeah, it's actually his 41st birthday. Happy birthday, Kenny.
Yeah.
But they gave him a happy birthday Kenny cake, and Jack Perry ended up pouring all these livers and intestines on the cake, which was fucking disgusting. Then Okada goes, "Hey Kenny, happy birthday, bitch." Which I thought that was great. And Jack said at the end, he basically said, fucking, what do you say? Oh yeah, get well soon, Kenny, or die.
Or die.
So,
don't care.
Yes. So that guy, so that was a little fucked up. But this is all. I mean, it was projected that Kenny is probably going to come back before the end of the year. So I could see maybe.
He's been doing light work in Japan with Ibushi.
Yeah. Well, they're coming back together. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Ibushi's waiting to come back with him. But the projection always was Kenny would be probably back a little before the end of the year, so probably late November, early December, or sometime in December. So
I would
obviously with the angle that wrote him off, they're obviously gonna. His first feud back is probably gonna end up with Jack and then probably Okada.
I would like to think he returns. Oh, no, I can't even say that. That's a Christmas Dynamite. That's not gonna happen. Because there's not gonna be a Dynamite that night. I don't think. Maybe Christmas Eve.
On Christmas?
Yeah, because Christmas falls on a Wednesday this year.
Or it's probably just gonna be taped.
Well, no, or they do a Christmas Eve Dynamite. Do the Tuesday before.
Well, they can't choose that. They can't choose to be on Tuesday if they wanted to. They can't do that.
But all depends on how they can schedule it. It's up to them. It's up to WB.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Is like if there's nothing for preemption, they're not going to take them out of their normal time slot. That just wouldn't make sense.
Mm.
Unless there's something that.
Because like I was gonna say,
not going to do that.
I was gonna say maybe have Kenny return on the final Dynamite of the year, but then you got Christmas Eve. Then I would say maybe the 18th then.
I mean, if Kenny's coming back, it's probably going to be at a pay-per-view. So,
yeah.
Most likely.
Full Gear odds are.
Full Gear, maybe I don't see that. That might be a little too early. But anyway, then we had the Bucks and Okada versus the conglomeration of Rocky Romero, Orange Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly. This was a pretty good match, but it ended in DQ via Wheeler Yuta hitting a Basaiku knee.
Crazy.
The funniest part about this is Yuta is literally dressing like Bryan. He's got the white t-shirt, he's got the green pants. It's literally the same shit that Bryan debuted in this company. So they Yuta starts beating down Orange. Here comes Claudio, Pac, Marina, and Moxley. They all start fucking laying waste to everybody
shit!
in
Did
the ring.
someone brought up good points on why Yuta could have turned coat? Is because I think it was like during Bryan's feud with Okada. Bryan just left the ring and left him there for Okada just to beat the shit out of him.
Well, he also did the same shit last week on Tuesday. He fucking left him in the ring to get the shit kicked out of him, and then when he was trying to reach for Bryan, Bryan was turned his back to him and started doing the yes chant.
So Yuta has a good reason, at least.
I mean, I don't think that's what they're going for, based on how he was acting during the angle, and how he's basically being portrayed. I don't think that's what they're going for. But like, I'm not like, it's not like what Kyle Fletch is like. Oh, he had a reason because everyone overlooks him in order to praise Ospreay. Yuta obviously does not want to do this. He obviously feels bad about what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he verbalized it in the angle. He's like, "I'm sorry, Bryan. Just lay down. Stop. I just don't want to stop." Like he was saying, like, "Please stop." He doesn't want to do any of this. He's literally just kind of like in a bad situation. So,
I'm still waiting for who is the mastermind pulling the full strings of this.
I mean, it could be just Moxley. People like need to think about that.
No, but even Mox, I think Mox has said like in I think one of the the first promo or like the second promo he's done, it sounded like he's not the full mastermind.
I don't think he ever said that because literally in the promo today, starting the show, he says, "You work for me now." He said that you work for me now. So,
all right.
It could be just Moxley, and to be honest, I think it'd be a lot safer if it was just Moxley.
I mean, yeah.
Because then you're gonna have like this whole thing, people trying to fucking figure out who the higher power is. It's like fucking back in the day in the Attitude Era, who's the higher power? It turns out to be Vince.
It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
Showing the higher power, it's kind of hokey.
It was me, Bryan. It was me all along.
Yeah. But yeah, so they all start laying waste to the conglomeration. The Elite, fucking, they go off to the side. They don't do a damn thing about this.
Yeah, they were.
Shit go down. Dark Order comes out. Top Flight comes out. They all start trying to fight these guys. They all get their ass beat. Alex Reynolds got made an example of. They beat
crazy.
Perhaps they hung him with the belt. Then they fucked off. But Pac, though, which was important, had a briefcase with him the entire time. We don't know what's in the briefcase. They're probably trying to make you think that's the title in there or something of the sort. But we have not seen, like, Mox did not bring the world title. So
maybe it's a new title.
They put in I think if they were gonna do a new title, this is how they do it. Even though I really don't want them to, because the AEW World Title is probably my favorite belt in wrestling.
Oh yeah, it's so beautiful.
Now that the V4 IWGP Heavyweight title is gone.
Oh shit, out of focus.
But yeah. So Pac had this briefcase. We have no idea what's in this briefcase. They're probably trying to make you think it's the title, but we don't know that. But yeah, they start laying waste to all these guys. The Elite doesn't do a fucking thing about it, even though they're the bosses. And there's gonna be struggle here with the Elite because obviously they're the bosses, but fucking you got Moxley saying you work for me now. So we'll see. But after this, we literally went to the back with they had Okada, the Bucks, and Jeff Perry walking in the back, and Garcia and Private Party went up to him and said, "Hey, what the fuck you guys doing, yo? You just sat back and watched that shit? Like, don't you guys run shit around here? You gonna let that shit happen?" You guys built this place, and the Bucks, they didn't really say nothing. Jack Perry and Garcia got in each other's faces. They were like pushing each other's faces around. But they had to be separated. And then like a little partnership was made between Garcia and Private Party, which was expected. So they're going to be like a trio going forward. And that's basically cemented that Garcia and Jack Perry are probably going to be feuding for the TNT title.
Yeah.
I actually not probably. They are going to be feuding for the TNT title. But yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think that title is absolutely going to Garcia.
Especially right now with
especially now that he's signed, the title's absolutely going to him.
Also with how like both of them have improved tremendously on the microphone as well. I think promo battles are going to be good. And in ring work in general is going to be fucking fantastic.
Yeah. So after this, we had the debut, in-ring debut of Shelton Benjamin versus Leo Rush, and I thought it was the best match on the show. Shelton looked fucking great. I thought Shelton looked amazing in this match. He looks.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's jacked up. He looks great. The guy is fucking 49 years old. Guy's damn.
Holy shit.
It's like this guy is this good at that age is crazy. But he looked real good in this match, and Leo, obviously, we know about Leo. Leo's one of the best, one of the smaller guys they have, and just one of the best workers they have. But Leo, I mean, Leo's fucking fantastic. But this match was great. Shelton won. Great match, probably the best match of the show. But the best part about it was after the match, you had MVP come in the ring, cut a promo on Swerve. He stuck his card in Leo Rush. Stuck his card in Leo Rush's his tights. And Leo actually posted a picture of the card on Twitter. And it says Hurt Syndicate on it. I mean, Shelton had Hurt Syndicate on the back of his tights. So, I mean, that's what it's going to be called. But he's been handing this card out to multiple people, and not everybody's going to join him. But it's like some probably will. He's handed out to Leo Rush. He handed one to Private Party. He handed one to Mercedes Monet. He handed one to Max Caster. So he's handed one to fucking Prince Nana. And Swerve, obviously. So it's like they keep doing this, and I think it's good because somebody's going to join him, and somebody's going to, because obviously when Bobby Lashley comes in, this is going to take off to a whole nother level.
The Fright Nights in Ohio, right? The Dynamite.
Yes.
Okay.
Cleveland. Yeah, after this, we had Swerve. He basically responded to MVP, and he challenged for 2 weeks for Shelton Benjamin versus himself. So in 2 weeks at the Fright Night, we're going to be getting Swerve versus Shelton Benjamin, which I'm very excited about. That's going to be a hell of a match. So excited about that. Then they did a little quick thing for Darby Allin. Which had nothing to do with the product. It was just a little charity thing that he does with Tony Hawk.
Yeah, the proceeds go to a company that kind of just makes skate parks in underfunded cities and towns. Yeah, hey, it's great. I might actually buy it and see how much it is.
I know, I'm no skateboarder, but that's pretty cool.
I used to dabble. That's actually pretty cheap. It's $50 for the Tony Hawk and Darby Allin autograph.
Cool.
So I might, if that stays up next week, it doesn't sell out, I'll buy it.
So after this, we had Mariah May in the back, basically saying, "Where is the competition around here? Tony's gone. Mina's still in. She killed Tony Storm. Mina is still in Japan. Thunder Rose is concussed. And nobody. There's no challenge. Bring me somebody. What does Christopher Daniels even do? But then all of a sudden, like a bat out of hell, Anna Jay gets in Mariah's face. They start jaw-jacking each other. Mariah calls her a bitch.
A slag
Anna's-
bitch.
fucking Christopher Daniels tries to break this up. Anna tries to slap Mariah.
He got it right to the ear.
And then she cold cocks Christopher Daniels right in the ear with a slap. She's very apologetic. This would have got her a fucking foul and power slap for clubbing.
So now
That's a
I
guilty pleasure of mine. I love power slap. I love watching people get fucking knocked the fuck out. But
I have to know from your perspective, was Christopher Daniels just selling, or was that a shoot?
That's a fucking
Ah.
hit, bro. That shit hurts. What are you gonna separate? What are you supposed to sell from that? But you get fucking nailed in the ear. That shit hurts.
Oh, I know. I've been slapped in the ear before. Shit, you go deaf for like an hour.
He probably fucking that probably has a ring in there. That shit hurts. But yeah, I thought this was a good segment. So it looks like Mariah and Anna are the next women's title program.
After this, we go to Tony Schiavone in the ring, and
Yes,
he goes, "I'm here to welcome Don Callis."
So here comes Don Callis with the new look. Don Callis family. He's got Lance Archer, which he doesn't have his Murder Hawk stuff on. He has his Killer Elite Squad stuff on from his run in Suzuki Gun with David Boy Smith Jr. In New Japan, and he also had Brian Cage with him, which I must have missed something, or I just forgot that he recruited Brian Cage.
I don't think it was mentioned on Dynamite, not Dynamite, on Wrestle Dream, or was even alluded to on
I think
Twitter.
it might have been alluded to on Collision.
Okay.
'Cause I watch Collision weekly, and I must have just forgot about it. But yeah, so he comes out here with Brian Cage, which I think he's a good fit for the group. I don't have any complaints about it.
Well, I agree.
But Brian he comes out here with Brian Cage and Lance Archer, and then he introduces the new international champion, Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. And they come out, and Takeshita basically cuts a promo in Japanese. Kyle says, everyone wants to know why I did what I did, but I'm not going to tell you. And so Callis just basically says, hey, this is the new Don Callis family, and he just presents it. So this is the new, and listen, this is a murderer's row of guys. This is a nice fucking little lineup here. Lance Archer, Konosuke Takeshita, Brian Cage, and Kyle Fletcher. That's a hell of a lineup right there. And you got these guys probably going to have regular matches with Will Ospreay and Ricochet. That's going to be very good.
I think finally the Don Callis family can be taken seriously. And not just, oh, hey, it's Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and this guy.
I mean, it's kind of gotten. I mean, see, it would have been a lot better than what it was, but then when Ospreay came in, you couldn't, like, Ospreay was so fucking over that it didn't make sense for him to be one of the most over baby faces in the whole fucking company, next to one of the most hated people. And so it kind of got burned with like.
Well, I'm just talking like kind of like even from like the jump of the Don Callis family when you had it as Sammy.
Well, yeah, it was Will, Takeshita, and Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, it's finally like, oh, it's these semi-powerful dudes,
Yeah,
and you have these like huge guys that now can act as proper heaters for Don Callis.
It's like, and I was one who pitched Roosh to the Don Callis family. At the time, it made sense because it's a violent guy trying to go to a violent faction. But if you put him in this lineup, he wouldn't really fit because. I mean, I like how they put him with Jake Roberts, and they're gonna have Roosh do his own thing because Roosh is not a guy where he could just stand next to somebody. He's like, obviously the number one in this group is Takeshita, and the number two is Kyle. Roosh is not a number two. Roosh is a number one. You can't like Roosh is extremely good. Roosh has no business being behind somebody.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm glad they gave him his own little group. And it makes sense with like the Beast Mortos. I mean, Drilistico's his brother, and Jake Roberts. I think that's pretty cool, because obviously Jake Roberts is a dastardly violent fuck.
And I'm happy he's doing better. That's why he was off TV for
oh yeah, he's had
so like 3 years.
What?
He was off TV for like 3 years almost.
No. It was like short month spurts. He wasn't off that long.
Cause like I don't remember like I don't watch Rampage and Collision too
Well,
much.
it wasn't years. He would show up every now and then.
Okay.
That's when he was on oxygen. But now
Okay.
ever since he's been off, he's been more prevalent.
All right.
But,
Because I haven't I'm not able to watch Rampage and Collision. I catch clips of. So.
Yeah, but he's been around.
Mm.
But after this, we had Ricochet in the back responding to the Don Callis family, and he basically made his case for another international title match, saying that, hey, I never got pinned in that match. Will got pinned. So Takeshita has never beaten me. So it looks like Full Gear is most likely going to be Takeshita and Ricochet, for the title, which I think does a hell of a matchup. And Ricochet still hasn't been pinned in AEW yet. He hasn't lost.
And we're probably getting Fletcher and Ospreay at Full Gear too.
Yeah, most likely.
With, I would hope, at the end of the match, returning. Oh, that's right. We said like he's not even fully back yet. Mark Davis, because he got fucked up a bit more.
It wasn't even fucked up a bit more. It's he might have some sort of personal stuff going on as well.
Because I would assume at this point would be a fun thing to do. You have Kyle Fletcher and Ospreay, and then at the end of the match have Mark Davis return. That would be like my ideal spot for him to return.
I just don't think it's gonna happen.
That's fair.
Yeah, just what I've heard and what I've seen, I don't think he's gonna be back for a little bit. Just kind of breaking news here: Anna and Mariah were just announced for Saturday on Battle of the Belts. So after Collision.
Also,
it's an eliminator match, so it's not a title match.
This also is reported to probably be one of the last Battle of the Belts of the year and in AEW. Because I think they tried to workshop it with WB, and WB was like, eh.
Well, no, they're the ones who made them do it.
Okay.
I mean, that was the only reason they're doing, but they ever did Battle of the Belts, is not because they want to. They don't get to decide what TV time slots they have. They don't ask for, hey, can we have a slot on Saturday to do this special? They don't do that. In their first media rights agreement, the agreement was exclusive 1 hour specials every now and then. And that's what Battle of the Belts became. They're not doing it because they want to. They're doing it because they had to.
Yeah.
And the reason they're going away is because they don't have to have it anymore. Because the company now is going to give them another show in Shockwave. They're going to give them more shit to do on Max. So that's literally all it was. It's not the company. The AEW. That's the people perceive this so. Even WWE. They don't get to decide a lot of shit when it comes to how their broadcasts get scheduled. I mean, obviously they make a deal and they have to stick to it.
Yeah.
They get preempted by something that's it. Literally, this is how big corporations work. When they tell you to jump, you have to ask how high. When they ask you to run, you're gonna have to ask them how fast. That's how it works. So it's like if baseball's coming on, or hockey's coming on, sorry, it's more of a precedent. If they want a couple of specials every now and then, yep, you're getting it. It's what WWE's doing the Saturday night main event in Nassau Coliseum, and it's exclusive to NBC. They're not doing that because they have to. Because I mean, they're not doing that because they want to. They're doing that because they have to, because they were told to.
Yeah.
But anyway, after this, we had another segment in the back where Top Flight and the Dark Order are going at it. Where the Blackpool Combat Club, they all get laid out and fucked up. They all leave in the back of the truck. But then Evil Uno cuts a promo.
You forgot the most important part. John Silver doing a straight Terminator sprint.
That didn't happen yet.
No, it happened. It went. John Silver ran. Camera went back to Evil Uno.
Oh so John Silver starts sprinting after this car, but Evil Uno, he starts talking. He calls him out for a match, and then he shoves the camera. This is a cool transition. He shoves the camera right to Dante Martin's face, and Dante basically calls him out for a match on Collision this weekend. Same with so it'd be Andretti and Top Flight versus any combination of the BCC. So they're going to be fighting those two teams. But after this, we had the main event of the evening. We had Christian Cage versus Switchblade Jay White, and I thought this match was very good. I enjoyed it. There was an awkward moment at the end where I think Kip Sabian and Hangman came in a little too early. I think they sent them out a little early because they did the same exact spot for the finish. But Kip Sabian ended up distracting Christian. And the ref while Rice was trying to get him down. But as that was happening, Hangman Page ends up hitting Jay White with a buckshot lariat. After Jay White, he got the kick. I mean, he kicked out a lot of shit. He kicked out of the kill switch too. He kicked out of Christian's finish. So,
but he ain't kick out of that buckshot.
Yeah, so they obviously protected him, and he obviously got fucked over by Hangman. He got hit with a buckshot lariat. But then Christian ends up pinning Jay White, which this is fine. It was obviously and it's obviously leading to something. But then obviously, and Christian Cage and Kip Sabian, that's been going on for a bit. Kip is probably going to end up with them now that Luchasaurus is gone. He's been searching for a father figure, so we'll see. But the main thing here is that Hangman, he's laying out there hiding from the ref like his eyes are fucking wide and like he's a fucking maniac. But yeah, and then the closing shot was Jay White laughing as they went off air. So I thought that was pretty cool because Jay White's a fucking maniacal, evil fuck. But Jay White's for all intents and purposes, he's a fucking babyface right now. He's in a feud with a big heel. But Hangman and Jay are not done.
I need Jay to do some fuck shit to Hangman.
Well, he probably will, as long as just depending on how long they want to keep him being a babyface. Because I don't think they're gonna have Jay outshine heel wise Hangman. Like I think it'll be like Swerve, where he'll be like, all right, these guys are as bad as each other, but there's a clear babyface in this scenario, even though they're on each other's level.
Well, no, I'm talking like as to like do some fuck shit. You get some actors who play as, say, Hangman's former students. Just be like, yeah, no, he was a terrible fucking teacher.
I don't know if he's gonna do all that.
Well, like it'd be funny as shit.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna do all that.
Just really start kicking this man while he's at his lowest, like just mentally.
Well, that's the thing though. Hangman's not at his lowest.
Well, mentally, yes.
No, he's not. He's at his highest. He just got revenge on his greatest enemy. He burned down his fucking childhood house. This guy's on the top of the world right now. The fuck is he got to be sad about?
He's psychotic is what I'm meaning.
Yeah, he's psychotic. That doesn't mean he's down. He was down back in the day when he was feuding with Kenny. That's when he was depressed, Hangman. This guy's a fucking psychopath. He's not there. That doesn't mean he's down. The Joker's a fucking psychotic piece of shit. You think that guy's sad? Hell no. Fucking Batman was on a goddamn fucking ring apron tonight. He's gonna deal with that motherfucker. It's like Hangman. I mean, he's a fucking psycho right now. So Jay and the Bang Bang Gang are gonna have their hands full with this fucking guy because they've already interacted, but. I mean, I could see this going again at Full Gear. I could see them going, like, Hangman winning a match against Joe at least. And this being a trilogy or something like that. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Because Jay's probably going to end up in the Continental Classic again, so this is probably going to end before that. So we'll see how it goes. But this was a pretty good match at the end, and I'm glad Jay White is back on track.
Yeah. All right. Wrestler of the week, I'll give it to Adam Cole. He's back. It's good. I'm happy that he's back. It's been way too long. Also, I'm not sure if these rumors are true, but if they are, they're gonna come into play with him and Adam Cole, and that is like Adam Cole and Britt Baker are separated. Those are rumors that I've been hearing.
Yeah, that was rumors for like a couple of weeks now.
I'm not sure if it's true or not.
Because he moved back to Pennsylvania on his own. So that's where the rumor stems from. There's nothing else beyond that.
So, but hey, we don't know because I have a feeling if it's true, MJF's going to use those to jab per approval from both sides. I would assume. So,
Maybe.
yeah. But Adam Cole's my pick.
For me, I'm gonna go with Jay White. I mean, the guy's back on track. One of my favorite wrestlers. Very excited to see him back in the fold.
Yeah. All right, guys. We appreciate you all for watching. We'll be back next week and all that fun jazz. Have a good one. Goodbye.